I'm going to ask you to write the formula for, let's say, aluminum nitrate, okay? You have to know the symbol for aluminum, okay, which is Al. And then what is the formula for nitrate? Because whenever you have that name ATE on the end, that tells you that this is a polyatomic. So you have to find the formula for nitrate, which is NO3, but that entire formula has a certain charge, okay? When I look at my periodic table for aluminum, aluminum has a charge of +3, nitrate has a charge of -1. So they're gonna swap again. Aluminum is gonna take on that 1, but now this compound here, nitrate, is gonna take on the 3. But guess what? That entire compound must go in parentheses. So you're gonna end up writing NO3 in parentheses, and then a 3 on the outside from that charge over here from aluminum, because they're swapping. So then this becomes aluminum nitrate, okay? Aluminum nitrate. Now, let's suppose I gave you another example where you have to write and by the way, the first example that I gave you here and this example deals with metals and non-metals. Whenever you have two non-metal elements, they become covalent bonds, which we refer to those as saying numerical prefixes in the name. Now, what do I mean by numerical prefixes? That means if I give you, everybody knows this formula here, that is carbon dioxide versus carbon monoxide. Now, how do I know that one is di and one is mono? Is by that subscript. So whenever you have two nonmetals that are attached to each other, okay, two nonmetals that are attached to each other, you have to use the numerical prefixes for the name in order to call the name with numerical prefixes within it. So if I gave you CCl4, okay, I know that that would be carbon tetrachloride because both of these elements are nonmetals, okay? So I would say carbon tetrachloride. So now I want to know from you all, what specific questions do you have? I mean, I can pull up the homework if you want me to, and we can take a sneak peek at some of the homework problems. So that way I can kind of help you, with that as well. And also drawing the bonds out. So what questions, so anybody that wants to talk, just unmute your phone or unmute your thing. So, you can unmute at the very top.
I would just say bonds because I don't really understand the bonds that well.
Okay, so you mean like knowing the difference between a covalent bond versus an ionic bond, that type of stuff?
Yes.
Okay, so let me go over a couple of rules then. So yeah, I'm glad you said that. So let's talk about this for a moment. All right, so, okay, if you have an ionic bond, okay, ionic bonds are those things that are between a metal and a non-metal. So that means 90% of the periodic table is made up of metals. The moment you get to that right-hand side of the periodic table, that's where you get into your non-metals, okay? So if I told you to write the name or the formula for NaCl, I know that sodium is a metal, chlorine is a non-metal. And because one is a metal and the other one is a non-metal, I'm just gonna call this like I see it, sodium chloride, okay?